All right, Danny, look who's here. Hello.
Hello.
It's like it's a different kind of city council roundup today because it's in two parts. Last night was a monumental night. It was the end of the Committee of the Whole as we know it.
As we know it today.
Joining us in the studio, City Clerk and Director of Legislative Services, Krista Power. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
It's nice to have you back in here, especially to explain what's happening. I have actually had a lot of questions about this because a lot of people missed the approval of this new design and these new meetings and don't understand why they're moving to Tuesdays and what's happening. But there is a lot going on here that is effectively completely changing how we do things in council chambers as far as meetings go.
Yes, as far as meetings go, I do want to start off with clarifying that nothing changes in the sense that council is the ultimate authority that makes decisions by bylaw as required under the Municipal Act.
All right, let's do that. I'm going to explain it because you are a super clerk nerd and you're next level with this stuff. So I'm going to try to explain this in English and then you tell me what I've got wrong.
Absolutely.
So right now we have two kinds of meetings every Monday night. First, we have a Committee of the Whole, which is all councillors in there talking about things brought to them to make decisions on.
Yes.
Those are not the final decisions. Those final decisions then go to the City Council meeting, which usually follows right after. It's done in two parts. What's effectively happening is the Committee of the Whole is going away, and now there are standing committees. So tell us what the standing committees are and... Well, I guess you can get into who's on them, but I don't know if that matters as much as these are much smaller groups.
Yes. So standing committees, there'll be three of them. One of them is on quality of life, one of them is on growth, and one of them is on finance and administration. So those are the topics of each standing committee. There's 5 members of council on each standing committee.
How are those selected?
They were selected by council. So council gave us their first and second choices, and then we allocated them to the committees. The mayor is on every standing committee and 4 members of council.
Gotcha. So these standing committees will then take the subjects files that are pertain to that committee. They'll discuss it themselves, and then they'll forward those to the city council meeting.
Yes, and I will say, like, in some cases, they won't necessarily forward them to city council because they will be for information.
Right.
So there's no decision that would be required of council. City council will be aware of everything that comes to standing committees. They will all receive the agendas. Deputations will go to standing committee. We will flag those for members of council should they want to watch them if they're not on that standing committee.
So no more deputations in front of the full group.
Unless it is part of our city council public meeting under the Planning Act.
I see. Okay.
So last night you saw a public meeting where the applicant came forward on a development.
Right.
And you saw the acting mayor call for speakers from the gallery. Those are requirements under the Planning Act, not the Municipal Act. That continues to be in place because of the legislation.
So these standing committees are set. The councillors that are on each standing committee they're ready to go. When do the standing committees start?
So on September 2nd will be our first city council meeting under this new structure. The following Tuesday will be the first standing committee meeting.
So there will be a city council meeting once a month.
Twice a month for most months.
Oh.
Yeah, our goal is to have every standing committee meet every month and ideally to have city council meet twice a month.
So the city council meeting may only have information and files from one standing committee. Or will it be multiple? I'm just trying to get a sense of what those city council meetings look like and what information is brought to them.
So one of the things I think you need to think about is that standing committees is really about consultation, feedback, and information. There are things that we don't consult on. An example I would give you is procurement. When we go to buy something, we go through a procurement process as required by our bylaw, and then we go to council if we need to award. We're not consulting the public on that because we've already done the work.
Okay.
But the public could provide feedback on our supply management practices at any time.
All right. This is making more sense. Now, I want to talk about the changes to the city council meeting because there are significant changes.
They're very cool. I'm so excited.
Yeah, well, of course you are. This is your thing. The first one is there is now a speaker.
There is a speaker.
So it's like the Speaker of the House, but not the Speaker of the House, the Speaker of Council.
Yes. So it's a model that we've, adopted from other municipalities, and really it's the chair. It's a different word.
Instead of calling it the chair. So they'll be able to say, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. And I would say we would probably remove the Mr. Again,
right.
We've removed all the prefixes to try to make it inclusive.
Speaker.
So, Speaker, the speaker that has been selected is Councillor Folds. The Deputy Speaker is Councillor Johnson. So it would be Speaker Folds and Deputy Speaker Johnson.
So Speaker Folds which is fun to say. Who, by the way, in my opinion, runs a pretty good meeting. He runs a tight ship.
He likes procedure too.
Yeah, he's a nerd with procedure like you are. So he will run a tight meeting. But he sit in the mayor's chair?
He won't sit in the mayor's chair. Essentially, what will happen is that all of the folks, as part of the city council meeting, the clerk, the mayor, and the speaker will sit on the dais, the elevated portion.
So
of the
the
meeting.
three of you will be up there.
Yes.
And he goes on the left?
The mayor will go on the left.
Your left.
Yes, and you'll see it on the second.
So it'll be Krista, Ken, Andrew.
Well, Krista, speaker, mayor.
Oh.
Yes.
So the mayor doesn't even get to sit in the middle.
Well, no, because
Wow.
the mayor, I think one of the pieces that's important here is that the mayor not being the speaker means the mayor doesn't have to manage the meeting.
Right.
The mayor is there able to provide the leadership that he brings to council,
Sure.
to move motions, to speak first.
Right.
The speaker speaks on items last.
Wow.
Right. So
This is
if you look at the
interesting.
city of Toronto, again, Mayor
That's-
Olivia Chow is not the speaker of
That's
the
right.
House because they're looking for the mayor to provide leadership.
All right. So that's part one of what's different in the meeting. Here's the other one that's really fascinating to me. Speaking limits.
Yes. Can we talk a little bit before speaking limits about the other pieces of the opening
Sure. You
ceremonies?
want to save the best to last? Okay, go ahead.
So there is two other pieces. Normally you see us at the beginning of a city council meeting. There is a moment of silence.
Yes.
Everyone stands. We will now be reading a land acknowledgement, which is very important in our efforts towards reconciliation and acknowledging our traditional lands on Fort William First Nation. That is something that I think is incredibly important to members of council. They will take turns doing that.
Oh, so they will each take turns reading
They will
it.
take turns,
Fabulous.
and we will go through a process where they will all build their own land acknowledgement.
Will
Because
they
it's
all be
important.
taking? Will they all be taking turns singing "O Canada"?
They will not be taking turns singing "O
They
Canada," but we are welcoming members of the public to come forward, and we have an excellent singer for our first
Yeah,
meeting.
we'll talk about that next week.
And then we also have a choir coming for September 16th.
Wow.
So really excited.
So it's a much more formal process now. It feels
yes,
like.
it certainly elevates what a city council meeting looks like. I think it also makes it more interesting to the public to be able to see themselves in it, right? Which we are excited to welcome the public into our meeting.
An opportunity for, like you said, for other groups to take part in this, to be a part of this. It is a much about the ceremony of it all, but the importance of those pieces to be added to the meeting.
Yes.
That's cool. All right, let's talk about the speaker limits.
Sure.
So, just an opinion. Sometimes I have those.
You do on occasion have opinions.
I have opinions. Wow, sometimes we talk a lot. And for many, many minutes. But this is all changing now. How is this changing with the speaking limits and the time limits for the councillors?
So the first thing I want to say is outside of the speaking limits, one of the things that council endorsed in their procedural bylaw is the principles of a good meeting.
Okay.
And that talks about efficiency, making sure everyone is heard, making sure everyone is respectful, all of those pieces that really lead to good governance, a good ability for people to be able to connect in a respectful way
Right.
as elected officials. So that's the first thing. What we have done is create speaker limits, so 5 minutes maximum, 3 rounds on an item. So the 3-question limit, with the exception of public meeting or deputations,
Right.
is gone.
Okay, but so let's just be clear. So now we're talking about File X. I only have 5 minutes to talk, which includes my question.
Yes.
Sometimes, Krista, we're not going to talk about this anybody in particular because they're all guilty of it, but sometimes the preamble to the question is 5 minutes.
One of the things I would say that we're hopeful, and we've received good feedback from council, is that we really do want them, if they have, really keen interest in a file and want to ask 15 questions, bring it. We want to hear it, right? We want them to contact us before the meeting, get all the information so they can suss out what questions they want to share that are most important to them to ensure that the public is fully aware. We also want to know if they think there's a gap. Is there something we've missed?
Sure. So
Right,
I
so
can
that
ask
way we can
15
prepare.
I can ask 15 questions in 5 minutes.
Yes, ideally, hopefully you're looking for yes or no answers and not fulsome answers.
What happens at the 5 minute mark?
At the 5 minute mark, the chair or the speaker would advise the member that their time is up.
Okay. How is this going to be enforced?
Again, the chair or the speaker.
What if they don't?
Well, we have a process again where you call members to order. And,
Okay.
and if members don't come to order, unfortunately, they're removed from the meeting.
How about a bell?
About Danny says a bell, but it is a very big change. It's a big adjustment for some people.
Yes and no, because I would say there's lots of members, because we did a little bit of tracking, who stay under 5 minutes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, there's others that make up for it. Okay, so this is in an effort to make the meetings much more efficient.
Yes.
This should change the length of some of these meetings that go into 6 or 8 hours long. This should make it a lot more efficient.
Yes, I would also say standing committees agendas will be built at 2.5 hours at the maximum.
Wow.
And part of the reason is you'll see on our calendar, there are some nights those meetings are stacked, which means the quality of life standing committee meets at 4:30 and the next committee starts at 7. So they have to be done by 7 because they're in the same space.
I don't want to watch 12 hours of meetings. So are all of these televised?
All of them are televised.
As they are now. So,
Yes.
but some of them will start at 4:30.
Yes.
Wow.
And one of the things I would say that's great is that we have the website. We also have great partners in media, right? The fact that you have your T-Bay Tell on demand, the
Yep.
fact that you can go to Rogers and watch at a later point. You can always go back on our website and you can actually just go to the item you're interested in and watch that item.
That's huge.
Yeah.
We weren't able to do that before.
No.
So your team has put an awful lot of work into this. It did go in front of council a few times to be approved, and everybody is ready. Have you gone through any processes now with the councillors to explain these changes again, or do any kind of training with this? Because it is a pretty big change.
So we are doing training prior to the first city council meeting on the 2nd.
That's on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are also doing some one-on-one with folks that are taking on new roles as chairs or vice chairs, or again, the new function of the speaker. And council's been very supportive. I'm grateful for their interest in trying this. This is a change. As a clerk, I often say people don't know when council is making decisions,
Right.
and it's confusing. And I appreciate that. Not everybody is the clerky nerd that I am.
Yep.
But now when you turn on the TV on Tuesdays, if there's 5 members there, they're considering. They're not making a decision.
They're not making a decision.
If
That is a big deal.
If there's 13 members there and there's a speaker, they're making a decision.
Because there's always confusion
Yes.
when decisions are made. Decisions are made at committee of the whole. Those are not the final decisions. We saw that last night. There was a portion of the minutes that were
Yes.
pulled out last night that will be decided on again on Tuesday night. But it wasn't a committee decision; it's a council decision.
Yes, and I don't want to confuse your listeners. There are still constructs like notice of motion where they can go back and change
Right.
their mind at later points. Those things still exist and could still happen. But I think this will help the public better understand when they're considering and when they're deciding.
Still no change in the point of clarification. There's no such
There's
thing.
no such thing as a point
But
of
sometimes we say that.
clarification. I know, sometimes you do.
There's a point of order.
There is a point of order.
Point of privilege. Point of clarification
No.
doesn't exist.
It does not.
All right. Anything else that we missed? This is a big change. This is a lot of work for you, your team.
One of the things I would say is we're going to start sharing information on social media. There's a roadmap that we've created on how City Council makes decisions.
Nice.
We're working with our media partners like yourself. Thanks for having me on today to share this information with the public so the public understands the changes coming forward. If people have questions, we're always happy to talk about what we do. So folks should just give us a call at City Hall.
Congratulations to you and your team for the colossal amount of work that this took to put this all together. It is a big change. The last time we had a big change in the procedures of council was 80s, 90s.
Oh my goodness. I was going to say, I wrote a new procedural bylaw in 2021 to bring in electronic meetings because of COVID, but that was really the only change.
The biggest
that we
change.
made,
So this is a big deal for our city.
Yeah, it's exciting.
All right. I can hardly wait for the first person to yell, Mr. Speaker. No, not Mr. Just Speaker.
Speech of speaker.
Speaker. It'll be fun. So everything changes. The first meeting of the new format of City Council is Tuesday. Last question. Did we move them to Tuesday nights to avoid Monday Night Football?
No, we moved them to Tuesdays actually to have more meetings because Mondays are often a holiday.
Holiday. Never
so
thought of
over the
that.
year, we actually have more time. So it's actually trying to make the meeting shorter.
Yeah.
There's going to be a few more meetings.
Danny, that's really big news because not only will it not conflict with Monday Night Football, but it also means we'll never miss Below Deck.
That's what I was just going to
Yeah,
add.
that's
Below
on at
Deck,
9.
very important.
Winner, chicken dinner.
You
Yes.
guys were great last night because 8:30 you were done. I had plenty of time to get ready for Below Deck.
I've never seen it, but I appreciate the
Well, now you
recommendation.
have Monday nights off, hey? you could start.
I know we need a new song. No more Manic Monday.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I know we're getting into news. Interesting you mentioned that, Krista. A text came in. What song will Clerk Power's people now be singing on
Yes,
Tuesdays?
that's a
they
great
can't
question.
sing Manic Monday anymore. That was such an appropriate
See, this
song.
Fridays I'm in love. That doesn't work.
There
'cause
was
that's a
Ruby
Friday.
Tuesday from the Stones, but that's from 1967.
Yeah, and
You
it's
can
a
make an
different
exception.
theme. Yeah,
It's
you
not-
don't want to use
yeah,
that theme.
Yeah,
so-
you're gonna leave it with us because we're working on it.
Perfect.
There's a band called Till Tuesday, but that's not
the song is inappropriate.
Not really a cool day of the week.
Okay.
Tuesdays. Well, good
It
luck.
will be.
How about
Yeah.
Copacabana, Barry Manilow?
That
Does
would be
fit
nice.
into your-
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, see if you can
Look at
add
all the
that.
suggestions.
I wanna
I
s-
appreciate your help.
And I think you should have a theme night at council. They can all dress like that. Listen, Clerk Power, we always appreciate your insight and your information. This is a tough thing to navigate, but you experts have this under control. I'm looking forward to the changes on Tuesday night. And I guess we'll have a roundup on Wednesday morning next week.
There you go.
We're going to have to come up with a new theme song for that, too. City Clerk and Director of Legislative Services, Krista Power, next City Council meeting. The new format is on Tuesday.